Hey, what's going on, my YouTube friends? I know a couple of y'all wondering where I've been probably, and thought I'd make this video for future grandkids for a little piece of history of this history event we're going through. But 36 days ago, I started fighting the COVID fight. I know where my exposure came from, and it didn't take much. I can tell you it was not much at all. Yeah, I know how I got it and who it came from, and it wasn't really any close contact or anything. So yeah, I'm on my 36th day so far. I've been wanting to put out some videos, but I couldn't really talk, or I'd lose my breath, and I'm just now getting to where I can talk without totally going out of breath and taking a few breaths and then talking again. But yeah, all the way back on the 27th of July, got my first symptoms, and started out, I woke up off a night shift. I just didn't feel good, just kind of run down, which isn't unnormal for after working 4 night shifts. And I started getting a tickling in my throat, and kind of played it off as allergies or something. There's working at chemical plants, there's always something you're smelling or dust in the air, especially at nights. And later that afternoon, my body started feeling strange, started feeling weird, just something didn't feel right. So I went and got a home test and took it, and sure enough, it showed positive. And just to make sure, the next morning, I took it again, and it turned positive immediately. But I knew without a doubt, because by morning I'd already started running 102 fever. And I run 102 fever for 8 days. I had all the symptoms except throwing up. I wasn't throwing up. I had everything else, everything on the list I had. Day 5, I lost taste and smell. And like I said, I'm still running 102 fever. Day 8 comes around, still no change, feel horrible. Still running 102. I've been watching my oxygen levels, and they started dropping, got down to about 95. So we started getting a little concerned because nothing was getting any better. Like some of the people, I've known a lot of people that's gotten it, and just in a few days they start feeling better. Well, so I went to the ER because we was a little concerned about how fast the oxygen levels dropped, and they said I was a candidate for the monoclonal antibodies, which I'm in there starting to have trouble breathing and stuff. And I said, yeah, sure, why not? Let's do it. I hadn't really researched it, but if it's gonna save me or turn this thing around, I'm all for it. After 8 days, that 102 plus fever, I was just wore out, and so anyway, I took the infusion. It lasted about an hour. Then they gotta watch you an hour, but at this point, all the hospitals are jam-packed with people here in the Houston area. People on all the hallways, and chairs and wheelchairs and beds laying everywhere. So whatever you're seeing on the news is real. Don't let nobody tell you it ain't. It's just like they're showing. I was there about a full day before I got out of there, since I wasn't going to be staying overnight. They saw me and got me out. Well, came back home. Nothing changed. Actually, it got worse. It went downhill pretty quick after that. Fever started going on up to 103 plus. Hard to control it. Feeling worse and worse. By 3 days later, my oxygen levels were down to 90 and dipping into the upper 80s. So we went to the emergency room again. Went to a different emergency room. There, went in, met a whole room of sick people. There were people in wheelchairs, laying on the floor. Everybody's gasping for air and same symptoms. And it ended up being in the waiting room a good 6-7 hours before they got me back. They took me back there, and of course right away they said, yeah, you're staying, we're admitting you. And so I went, they got me admitted. I stayed in the back triage area a few hours. I got one of the last beds in the whole hospital. And I know you see stuff some of the conspiracy people saying, oh, they only got 3 or 4 beds. They're just saying they're full. And I'm telling you, I've seen it with my own eyes. It's real what they're showing on these hospital boards, or at least here in Houston, at the one I went to. There's sick people being wheeled everywhere. And anyway, they got me to my room, and of course by now I'm upper 80s and just can't breathe at all, and really struggling. And next morning they come in and they said they want to do the remdesivir, however it's pronounced, to try to get it stopped, because they did the MRI, CAT scan, whatever it is, with dye in my lungs, and they showed it was acute COVID pneumonia, and they showed me how it looked compared to a good set of lungs, and a really bad set of lungs with COVID, and I was about right in the middle where they thought I had a good chance of stopping it. So I'm like, what the heck, when you're laying there gasping for air, your loved ones aren't around, you're by yourself, you'll take whatever they'll give you, no matter if it is experimental, to hopefully make it another day or two. It was getting to that point, and I was feeling, of course you never know with this stuff, but so anyway, they started a 5-day infusion. Every day I took an infusion of this stuff, and I'd say by day 2 I could tell things had leveled off. My fever had stopped on the first day. Actually, it stopped, and then by the second day I could tell it was I couldn't really breathe better, but it wasn't no worse, and my oxygen levels had come up. And of course, this whole time they got me on oxygen, and so I was on oxygen the whole time I was in the hospital. And so 5 days in, I did a 5-day treatment. They kept me an extra. I was there 6 days. They got my oxygen levels up, into the 93, 94 range, and they sent me on home with oxygen bottles to stay on and keep working on my lungs. So I did about 3 weeks, I think it was, almost 4. I did about 3 weeks on the oxygen. I weaned it off totally 4 days ago, and I still have trouble breathing. My heart rate's still way high. Just sitting around, my heart rate's, it was running up 110, 115, just sitting around comfortably. And now I've gotten it down. It's come down to upper 90s when I'm just sitting around comfortably. And like I said, 4 or 5 days ago, 4 days ago, I guess, I came off, took the oxygen off completely. I wasn't wearing it at night or during the day, because I was able to hold 95% oxygen using my little finger meter. And as you can tell, I still can't hold the conversation for a very long time. Well, it just depletes all oxygen. But so I started walking. I got a track right next door to my house, a little park. I started walking around it, doing breathing treatments every day. They also they sent me home. The whole time I was in there, I was on inhalers, and they had me shot up with this medicine to prevent blood clots, because I was afraid I'd being my age, and they consider me obese at 250 pounds. They were afraid I was going to maybe blood clots or stroke or something like that with everything that was going on. But they did a round of antibiotics also in there, IV, and they sent me home with the Z-Pack to continue for 5 days. At the Z-Pack, I had another medicine. It was another steroid. I took it for 10 days, a pill version, and I'm still using the inhaler. I have to use the inhaler every day now. It appears for a while. As soon as I get up, oxygen levels about 94. I just got to get up and start getting my lungs working, do breathing, exercise and stuff. I'll take the inhaler, and I'm doing the inhaler about 3 times a day, 2 puffs. And besides that, I'm just doing exercises using the spirometer or whatever it's called, where you suck in to make the balls go up and stuff. And right now it's just still working on the heart rate and lungs. I don't know how long it's going to take to get them back to any kind of normalcy, but anyway, that's what's kind of been happening so far. Like I said, I'm on day 36, and spent 6 days in the hospital. Had all the experimental treatments they could give. I guess the remdesivir stuff finally worked, but in hindsight, though, I wish I took the shot. Who knows? There's people getting sick with it also, but I probably, if I was knowing I was going to take all these experimental drugs and go through all that, I probably would have took the shot ahead of time, hoping that it wouldn't come to that point. But will I take it in the future after I get well? I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. But I just wanted to give y'all an update. Had one or two of y'all ask me what was going on. I hadn't put out a video in a while. I did finish the camper up. We took it camping just a couple of weeks before I got sick, and I need to try to get a video of that up. I didn't take no videos while we were camping on that trip. It just kind of to get away and have fun type deal. But hopefully soon I can start feeling like making videos again. Right now, the heart rate the way it is, I just don't feel like doing a whole lot. Today I stood in there and cooked. You know, if y'all follow my channel, you know I like to cook. So I took I just made some vegetable soup and a cornbread, and I was wearing my little meter and just cooking dinner in there. My heart rate was up to 115. If that tells you how, it's almost like an aerobic workout. But so anyway, I'm struggling along, but I'm doing all right now. I guess I'm gonna live. I don't know if I ever get back to 100%. Sure don't seem like it, but anyway, I'm about out of breath again. About to talk all I can talk. And one thing for sure, I'll see y'all down the road.